We're back. We're back with
We just had 2 very passionate episodes, but now we're gonna end it with the
one
hotline.
Okay, no hate y'all, but like I feel like y'all just y'all ain't even asking for our advice at this point. You all are just
No, I think they get mixed up, because like if you
I think they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. If you all want to share us stories, y'all should go to your horror stories, dating stories. But if you're on a hotline, you're actually supposed to keep it concise unless you really, really need to provide a lot of context. Then come to context with us.
So the thing is that when I was checking hotline and the stories like coming out and like horror stories, right? Everyone has not been putting in like coming out and horror stories. They've all been putting it in here.
In hotline.
So you guys are condensing everything into just the hotline, which is just like, okay, whatever. Wait, where is the... I don't have a fucking ruler, man. I can't read without a ruler. I know that sounds really weird.
Maybe we can use your vinyls.
No.
You know I haven't been this passionate about episodes in a while. I think it's just...
yeah.
Just now you were so passionate.
Yeah, because it's
been a hot minute,
driven
y'all.
by hate. It's what we're known for.
I know what we can use. We can use this cable here to read. Oh.
We're known for hate, apparently. Okay, we're gonna start with the first episode. Okay, so this is an episode of Oatmilk Hotline, but wait, maybe it's just like you said, fucking bedtime stories. Okay, read this. Sorry, guys, watch this episode before you're about to go to bed. It will either keep you up at night and give you nightmares, or yeah. Okay, when was this even sent in, girl?
Last year? June. Oh my god. Oh, I can't wait for Pride Month.
Oh, it's July actually. It was sent in
July.
July. July in 2024.
Shit.
It's been almost a year, so I
So
hope.
sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, the Oatmilk lesbians. Sorry for the long story. I tried to keep it as brief as I could. This is a sad story, I guess, and I hope that she would never hear this. As I am writing this, it's been about exactly a month since my first ever breakup in life. Okay, sorry, y'all be fucking sending it to us, right? And we read this out and it goes on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram.
She's gonna hear it.
Somehow, Anyway, time lasted 1 year, 4 months. We met when I was 19 and she was 25. Nope.
No.
No.
Okay, girl, no.
No. That is disgusting. Sorry. But like, there's just a huge age gap, especially within 19 and 25. Like, if let's say it was like maybe 28 plus 6, that's 34. That's still
okay.
alright. But because this is like in a very like drastic transition in life between student and like working adult, and a working adult that has like a couple years of experience. So there's a lot of like differences, and they could have a lot more power over the younger person. That's why it's
100%
bad.
of the time they do.
Yeah, they do, and they take advantage of it, okay? I'm a Malaysian design student trying my best to do well in uni, and she's a stressful Singaporean working adult. And of course, we always have to expect that it is a Singaporean. We met through Twitter.
Why does it sound like Rachie?
A bit. We met through Twitter over a K-pop band that we both used to love. Things were doing fine at the beginning, despite all the differences we have in terms of age, personality, mindset, and nationality. We were in a long distance relationship, but we met like once every 2 months during the first year, and we got along quite well during offline dates. She was my first love, my first relationship, and my first girlfriend. We're both bi, and I was her first girlfriend as well. She dated men prior to me. So being like the typical first love, hopeless romantic type of person, I tried my best to show her affection and my honesty as much as I could. Not to the point of being obsessed, of course. But that's what went wrong between us. We're both at a very different stages in our lives, where it's crucial for us to focus on ourselves. As I have said before, I'm still a uni student, trying to figure out my future career path and exploring different options in the design field. And the moment I stepped into this relationship, the things that I have to be concerned about become more. Not only I have to consider what kind of job I'm gunning for after grad, I have to learn about how is the work industry in Singapore, the work culture, the people, their news, and ways to get to work there, etc. This matter does overwhelm me, but I didn't bring it up much to my partner during our relationship, since I'm working towards this goal at my own pace, and I don't see a point in stressing out about it to my partner, and would rather use that time to work on the goal. I'm just gonna do a little
Wait,
mic
so you
test.
were trying to move to Singapore to be with her, and you were trying to
Mic
move
test.
your career to Singapore? Is that what it is?
Sounds like it. Sounds like it.
Okay.
However, despite being busy with all the project assignments throughout semesters, I put her on top of my priority list. God bless you. I always felt bad that I'm still not at the point where I'm financially independent as her. God bless you. There's the difficulties. And to be able to spoil her financially, God bless you. I couldn't wait to graduate, so instead, I tried to give her as much emotional value as I could. Often check on her well-being, being flirty with her, show her encouragement, share those cute animal couple videos with her, and be honest after processing my emotions with what I feel about us during the relationship whenever I encountered some issues with her. Okay, good on you for that. Unfortunately, due to the way each of our behavior shifted throughout the relationship, I gradually felt that her passion fell off way before I did. So whenever I bring it up to her in a discussion, it would get better for a while, but then sometimes the issue would return. She has a very busy work schedule, and I could understand her situation, which makes it confusing as to how come this issue keeps resurfacing from time to time despite her trying her best to spend more time with me, and me trying my best to message/call her less during her free time. When I held the third or fifth discussion in our relationship and brought up this issue again and really wanted to know how she feels and wanting to solve the issue, she broke up with me. With the reason of us being too different in a lot of things and her feeling overwhelmed by my neediness. At first, I was quite mad. I've put in a lot of effort into giving her all the time she needs to be alone and cut down the text messages on a daily basis. Our daily text messages went from roughly 50 plus at the start, not even going to over about 15 a day throughout our relationship. How was it so easy for her to break it off? You know, I feel like when it comes to long distance, right, this is where it gets a little bit tricky because it's like you kind of really have to text and call in order to keep in contact. So if you get into a long distance relationship, I feel like to a certain extent, you are expecting somebody to be clingy over the internet.
Yeah.
In a
It's
sense.
a given.
Yeah, because if not, how else are you going to keep in contact, right? It always been difficult trying to get her to voice up herself. She will always say that she did try her best to express as much as she could to me during our discussion, and due to her past, she's become a very independent person when it comes to handling her own emotions and issues. And she felt that she doesn't have any needs/wants in our relationship other than wanting a partner to spend their lifetime with her. She felt like it would be overly reliant to have many needs/wants in a relationship and thinks that having the feelings matter the most. I think that's a good thing though.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like it's a good thing? I just feel like maybe potentially it's just like a miscommunication.
And maybe it's an age thing.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
she's been in a relationship, so I think she knows how the drill goes.
Yeah. Yet, she never told me specifically about how she felt whenever she has issues with me.
As in, like, she basically, if she doesn't like something you do or if she disagreed with you, so she didn't communicate that.
Avoidant lah. Yeah. Avoidant lah. Until the last call we had post-breakup, where I couldn't take the silent treatment and wanted answers. Only then I was told that all my attempts of giving emotional value to this relationship overwhelmed her. All these I want to cuddle with you messages and all these cute videos, her willingly in giving me the decision to end every call made her feel very overwhelmed. And she didn't want to tell me about it as she thought these feelings would be unfair to me. Okay.
Okay, but yeah, she kind of brought it upon herself.
Other than that, she simply couldn't tolerate that I was too dependent on her. I listened to her words too well. She was stressed over the fact that she felt like she could not make a single mistake with her saying, or else I would be very misguided. You see, that's the issue with dating somebody who's like fucking 6 years older lah. The older person is gonna be like, oh my god, they're gonna like look to me as like some sort of like fucking life mentor and shit like that, and I'm gonna guide them wrong. That's not how a relationship should be like. You guys should be.
I think she wanted to be equals.
Girl.
But she probably like the expectation. And by the way, not saying this to shade you or anything. It's just that sometimes when you're younger, like, I think the relationship dynamics can be different because when you're younger, it's always more passionate. But the older you get, or especially if you've been in relationships before, it may not be like, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe you feel like that's missing from her, but maybe because she's already been through that, but she's not doing it to hurt you, and maybe then then she realized that the age thing is like a factor lah.
Mm.
But I also think like you are healthy for wanting to communicate with her, because actually that's what is wrong on her end.
She felt like she was a third parent to me, having to be anxious regarding my effort for my future. And there were a lot of times where she wanted calls to be ended earlier. Times where she didn't want to call because of how exhausted she was from work. You see, I think the thing is that like, okay, so I've experienced this before in the sense that like I felt like I was a third parent to my partners as well, and that is really one of the most fucking unhealthiest things ever. Like, because I feel like when it comes to these kind of things, you should not be viewing yourself as the parent. Instead, you guys should be like inspiring each other to be better, you know, by just doing your own thing, by being yourself, like basically leading by example. At least that's how I view it now lah, after everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I actually totally get her on the ending call early, because I had that in my second relationship, but I think like my partner saw it as an offensive thing, but it's not an offensive thing. I did it because I could get like X amount hours of sleep. But the thing is like, how to say, I know in a relationship sometimes you can take all these kind of things as offensive, because it depends on the quality, it depends on the love language of the other person. So if your love language is quality time, and if your partner doesn't want to spend like X hours of time to do something for you, you could see it as an offense, but it's not like communicated. It's just like you, like how to say, both of you receive love differently. Maybe for her, like quality time is not a love language, or not on top at least.
As somebody who has quality time as my number one love language, I will tell you I'm also the one who wants to fucking end call early.
Actually,
No, because
sometimes you just need to. You need to get sleep lah.
Number one, you need to get sleep. Number two is that like, what the fuck are you doing over the phone actually? What the fuck are the two of you doing over the phone? You get what I mean? Like, so for me, it's like, no, I mean, I'm not trying to scold you or whatever, but to me back then with my partner, right, she would want to Discord with me every single fucking night, but I would always feel like it was super pointless, because number one, my phone would overheat every single night and I could not do anything else with my damn phone because of that. Secondly, is because all that was going on a call was that there was not even a proper conversation to catch up about how each other is doing. It was just about just basically us minding our own business, doing our own thing while we are on call. And a lot of times it will be the other person playing a damn game and they will always be fucking yelling. And so I would always be like, actually it's very noisy, it's distracting me, and my phone is overheating and I cannot do anything else. I felt like it was pointless and very counterproductive to what I wanted to do with myself. So when you talk about quality time, the time that you spend on the phone, is it quality time or is it just time?
Yeah, I think it's even better if like it's not every day and you have a planned day to have the call.
Yeah,
because
correct.
then you can manage expectations.
Correct. I agree with that. Okay. Moving on. That's being on call. How exhausted she was from work. Okay. In the end, she seemed quite determined to end the relationship with me, and so I let her go. Despite still having feelings, despite it hurts me a lot knowing that what I've been doing was hurting my partner all along. Frustrated that I wasn't even given the chance and time to solve my side of the issues. Honestly, I feel like you being hurt that what you've been doing has been hurting your partner is actually honestly not on you, because she didn't communicate it in the first place. So, yeah. I still believe that all of the issues she has with me, I could solve it over time. I'm simply a human. You have the fucking, like, I can fix her attitude, yeah. I'm simply a human with 6 years lesser life experience than her as well. All those childish behavior could be reduced. Do not fucking say that.
Yeah,
because
don't
I
say
just
that.
feel like, you know, sometimes, right, the thing is that, like, okay, so for me, when I broke up with my partner, with one of my partners, and it was because, like, some of the things was like, our lifestyle was also very different, but at the same time, I told that person, like, actually, your lifestyle is very different from mine, and to be honest, I don't like that you have this lifestyle, but I don't think that you should change your lifestyle because I don't like it, because technically you are still a student, and students should have the freedom to do these sort of things. You should have the freedom to be immature, actually. You should have the freedom to make stupid decisions, to stay up all fucking night. You should not be that mature.
And you shouldn't try to rush your own growth just for a person.
Yeah.
She can be like this because she had the liberty to do or whatever the fuck she wanted to do back then.
Yeah, correct. So I mean, yeah, do not give up a portion of your life for somebody else just to be liked by the other person now, honestly. Okay, I will work on improving my maturity and fix my occasional irrational acts as well.
We've answered that.
But I guess no point of telling her that or even to myself anymore. Currently, I'm just trying to live my life to the fullest, very good. Direct my drive into academics and planning for my upcoming working adult life. I'm a Sagittarius, so this healing phase is really testing my patience. And I'm kind of envious that my Scorpio ex has been doing so well at keeping quiet on all socials. I couldn't, that's why you're reading this lol. Okay, to be honest, your Scorpio ex has not been fucking doing well, okay? They've just been doing terribly, but internally. You are just externalizing every single shitty thing that you're feeling. That's the difference.
Yeah, dude.
They fucking feel it worse, I feel. They fucking feel it. Okay, I'm not invalidating you, but generally Scorpios are just super, super, super fucking emotional, okay?
No, and we just talked about this on the other episode just now where fire signs are just fucking loud. We're just loud about our suffering.
Yeah, we're just loud about everything, girl. You don't give a shit, right? If like we got a cut, like fucking the other day I got a fucking splinter, everybody had to fucking know about it. Oh my god, it's so painful. Oh my god, I got a splinter. Oh my god, I managed to pull the splinter out.
No, everyone has to know about my suffering.
I know, everybody has to know that I got stung by a jellyfish on my lips.
Yeah.
Everybody gotta know.
Everyone had to know we got crazy sunburn.
Yeah.
In Johor.
You know, everybody just has. That's why we have this fucking podcast.
Yeah. So, don't say that she has it better.
No, she don't have it
that
better. Yeah, you're just louder about it, okay?
Real.
Okay, it's quite a struggle for me to be like, I'm being fine most of the time, then suddenly it feels like everything is so shit at the moment despite giving myself all these daily tasks I need to fulfill.
As we said, we are just very chalant about everything.
Yeah, and we show that we are chalant, okay? Thank you for reading this long-ass cringe confession. I really appreciate what you guys have been doing for the community, and hopefully next time I'll write back to you with a happy ending in the future.
Yeah,
hey, fuck happy endings, honestly. Sorry, no, I'm saying this because like everybody's always about like, happy ending. But honestly, why can't the current ending be happy? Happy one.
Maybe it's a good
it's
thing
a happy
that you guys
one.
broke up.
Yeah.
Because, okay, first of all, she's way older and also like,
she wasn't communicative.
Yeah, she wasn't communicative and you were not in the same phase in life.
And it was long distance.
You deserve somebody who's super passionate and at the same level of maturity as you. Not to say you're not immature, you're just going through life in a less like, in your own way.
Yeah.
And it's not wrong. In fact, it's so correct.
This is the happy ending.
Hell, you know. It's a happy ending. We saw it as a happy ending.
Yeah, no, I think I realized that sorry, off tangent a bit. I recently realized that like happy endings do not look like what happy endings are supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But what's the issue?
No, I saw 2 hours, so I'm like,
oh no.
It's
That's
not 2
like
hours,
we have 2 hours left to record in the SD card. It's 18
okay.
minutes. But anyway, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I realized that like happy endings just look differently than what we expect happy endings to look like.
Right.
You know, because okay, me saying all of this is basically partially has got relevance to do with our disappearance. But basically what happened is that, and I don't care if my family fucking see this for all you give a shit, right? So I think earlier this week I told my dad, I was like, it's better if I don't come back very often. And I came here, I came to the studio and I went to sleep crying for 2 fucking hours. And I went to sleep crying because I realized that like not all my life lah, but basically for years ever since my mom passed away, I have been clinging on to my family for a really long time and very hard at my own expense, physically and mentally, emotionally at my own expense, because I had an idea of what my happy ending was supposed to look like. You know, and I wanted a family, I wanted a happy family, this and that, and obviously I couldn't see my brother in that as well. So I realized that the happy ending that I really wanted was just for my dad and me to be in the house together. But obviously that's never gonna happen. So I was crying because I feel like my brother robbed me of my happy ending. But then on Labor Day, so the nights before that I was also drinking a bit of alcohol and like fucking smoking downstairs lah, but for fun now, okay, and cooking my own whatever and doing my work here. So on Labor Day, I woke up, I did my work, and then I went to the gym. And I went into the steam room and then I showered and then I went for my own solo movie thing. And after my solo movie, I went on my own solo grocery run. And after my solo grocery run, I came back to the studio and I started cooking my own fucking dinner. And I was like, I am so at peace. I've never felt this peaceful in a space before. Like, this is not a kind of feeling that I would ever feel if I was around my family. And then I was like, maybe this is what an actual happy ending, because I tried to force my idea of a happy ending on myself to a point where I sacrificed so much of my physical health, my mental health, my emotional well-being and everything. But when I let that go and when I did what was best for me, and when I did like what I felt I needed to do in that moment, that was when I actually felt happy. So that's
Agreed.
my learning of a happy ending.
Agreed. Yeah, sometimes it may not always look like what we think it would. So don't say that you didn't have a happy ending because it sounds like you did.
It sounds like it's leading there.
Yeah.
It's, even if you don't feel happy right now, it's leading there. Because earlier this week, right, I was like I said, I was bawling my eyes out for 2 hours. Then the next day I woke up for a meeting. My client was like, "Did you fucking cry yourself to sleep?" I was like, no, I didn't, but I actually did. And then right after the meeting, I fucking bawled my eyes out again. But 2 days later, I suddenly felt fucking happy. So it's just like sometimes it's just around the corner, you know. If like you just let it go and you do the thing that you know it's best for you, you give yourself what you need, then you will realize that like maybe, okay, this is what happiness looks like to me, you know?
Period.
Yeah, it may not look like what you think it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, add on to the Singapore X story above.
Okay. What you got to say?
One of the reasons she broke up with me was because she felt like she was never enough for me since I'm always bringing up the same issue. I see. I never thought of it in that way. I never wanted to blame her for the issue. I simply wanted to express my processed thoughts and was seeking for a solution that we could both agree on. But I guess back then, we both tried to adjust to each other's needs and it was still not enough for each other. I honestly think it's because like maybe she just feels like she just can't meet your needs. That's about it. It's either she can't meet your needs or like she is not, and I'm not saying that this is a bad thing on her part. She is not willing to sacrifice to meet your needs. It may not be a bad thing. She may not have the headspace for it, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's a good thing for you actually because I think now that you're not with each other, you don't have to demand from somebody who cannot give.
Yeah, correct.
She just cannot give.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next one. Can you ask Faye where she gets her nasi lemak bungkus from? It's the only thing I want to know.
Girl, how do I know which one you're talking about?
Lol. Okay, wait, I'm so like, you know, this is so fucking interesting because last time every single fucking hotline, right? We will go through like 5 questions in one go and it'll be like, at least I feel like this episode, because of our hiatus for so long, right? We are giving different advice.
Yeah.
Because we have also gone through so much shit within this period that to a certain extent, we also view things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And, you know, the break also kind of just gives us like some time to just not change lah. It's just that, you know, when you read a book and then you forget what the book says and then you pick up the book and you're like, oh my god, yeah. It's something like that.
For real.
Yeah.
Okay,
Fuck. Okay, I think this one might have to be the last one, yeah. We're fucking
yeah,
23 minutes in.
To read like 5 and
No lah, we read 2 only lah. Actually, it's a good thing, what? We are like more focused on each individual story also.
Okay, please read this. I need advice. During my last year of high school in Taiwan, actually, she sent one more thing.
Oh.
Please don't read my submission from yesterday. Too late. Hi guys, I submitted this story yesterday about the... I now realize it was way too specific and if anyone from our communities read it, we will probably get outed. If you guys end up reading the submission, please consider cutting it out. I'm so sorry and thank you.
Okay.
Okay?
We're doing one more.
Okay.
We're doing one more story.
There's one more and then I think we should read another one because the other one is damn funny. It's about homosexual.
Okay, I can read it.
Hi,
I can read
I'm
it.
a lesbian from Singapore. That one we haven't read
Hi.
yet.
Can I have the...
Yeah. What did we read all of that for?
Girl. Hi, I'm a lesbian from Singapore.
Okay.
And have always felt excluded around majority of people until I recently went to a Girl in Red concert. I felt like I was finally in a space where I belong. My whole life, I felt like I'm always left out in friend groups and thought something was wrong with me. I felt like I never had anything in common with my friends and still do. Clothing style, relationships, interests, hobbies, different morals. I could never be my true self around them. However, At the Girl in Red concert, it truly felt like home. Although I did not interact with a lot of people, I was tearing up. I realized how I lacked queer friends and how my emotions have been so suppressed my whole life, which resulted in me not having a support system. Do you have any tips making queer friends in school? In bracket JC/Poly. Thank
We're not
you
from
for
Singapore. We don't know.
yeah. Thank you for reading this and love yours podcast. I don't fucking know. Like maybe just make queer friends online. That's how it fucking starts, right?
Yeah, we
I
actually
mean-
had an episode about it. You should watch it.
The episode was also quite a while back. But I think, right, I mean, what we realized that happens on our platform is that people make friends in the comment section.
Yeah, you could make friends in the comment section.
Yeah, you can make friends in the comment section. You can... Yeah, on our Twitch streams, people are interacting with each other.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Instagram streams too, Instagram lives. Yeah, so you could do that. Please don't read my submission from yesterday. Oh my god, homosexual. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Read slower, I cannot keep up.
Okay. Hello, Oatmilk lesbians. I need your advice on how to stop being homosexual. Wrong person to ask. While I know it's not good for me, I keep getting feelings for my friends. Relatable? This has happened to me multiple times. I don't know if I'm getting my friendship and relationship wires crossed, but I want to break the pattern already. The reason I'm writing to the hotline is because I recently confessed to a friend who I knew didn't harbor any feelings different from friendship for me because I was upset that someone liked them and they liked them back. Hey, then where you going?
You're ruining your friendship at this point.
No, but if you already know she likes someone else and the other person like her back, why you want to do it? Okay, anyway, I was previously determined to keep my feelings quiet, but hearing I wasn't chosen made me bitter. I need to know your side. I know this person doesn't have that much emotional carrying capacity, and I think I might have given them a lot to chew on. It was not my best moment, and I deeply regret it. And you better not be one of those people who say, "Hey, don't read my story, by the way, I changed my mind." I've been suppressing my feelings for them for a while because I knew they didn't like me in that way, and I didn't want to ruin the friendship. I was counting on the feelings to die, but that moment happened, and I ran my mouth. Wait, why is everyone so funny today? While they said it's okay, we can still be friends, the selfish part of me wishes them good luck in their relationship, but never wants to see them again. You're not selfish for that. I'm emotionally avoidant, if you couldn't tell already.
What's after Leo season?
What's after Leo season? Virgo season.
Oh.
Okay, anyway. If you couldn't tell, and run away when it gets scary. From their perspective, they've lost someone who thought they was their friend, and I'm sorry I couldn't be a proper friend for them. I tried dating random strangers, but I don't think I can like anyone until I get to know them and hang out with them outside of dating context. I know some people love the friends to lovers trope, but I'm genuinely concerned that number one, I'll have no friends if I keep confessing my feelings. Number two, I'll gain a reputation of someone who becomes friends with someone only to get closer and try to date them. I'm not attracted to all my friends, but it has happened enough times and is perhaps noticeable to my friends. While that is never my intention, I don't want people to be uncomfortable around me and think I'm exploitative. I'm really disgusted by my emotional manipulation. No lah.
I feel like you can't help it lah.
Yeah, it's just a you thing. And don't want to use anyone like that, even if it's unintentional. While people I've confessed to haven't taken it badly, I've taken it badly. The writers for today's episodes are so good. I wanted my feelings to be returned so badly, but I'm never more than a friend, which kind of kills me inside. I get heartbroken, but I have to continue being their friend because I don't want them to feel bad for rejecting me. I gave them a little preferential treatment, not like a lot, but I would stay up late for them, which I don't normally do. And I don't know how to reel back from that as well. I know I shouldn't expect reciprocity from them at my depth, but it hurts no matter how much I tell myself. As a double Pisces, I'm very much Delulu, so the reality check is rough.
My mic was muted, but continue.
In essence, what I need help with is number one, how to stop being homosexual. Maybe we should make an episode on that. Number two, how to deal with feelings for my friends so they go away. And if all else fails, three, how to move on from rejection so we can still be friends. Because what is happening is that number one, wow, I catch feels. Number two, I struggle how to hide it. Number three, I reveal my feelings, making it hard for me to be friends again, even back to back when I caught feelings for them, I always keep putting myself through this emotional ringer, and I'm tired of it. By a whole milk lesbian. P.S. Thank you for listening to my letter. I've been listening to the podcast since the very first episode, and I'm grateful that y'all gave us C lesbians a voice. I've learned a lot emotionally as well as gotten some good laughs.
Okay. Like,
What was that? That cracked me up.
No. I honestly don't know how to fucking answer that question because me and Faye also, we just randomly catch feelings for random people.
Sometimes it's a friend. Well, I can only say that for my part.
Have mine been for friends?
The last 2 people that I've caught feelings for were friends. But they're not close friends, lah. Okay, I don't catch feelings for close friends. That's a bit
not
much.
close friends.
That's giving incest.
No, I just catch feelings for people whom I find attractive. That's it. But then, in terms of getting over your feelings, for me, I just feel like, okay, it's difficult for you because you are fucking double Pisces, right? But I have a Libra Venus. I be catching feelings left, right, center for people and then forgetting about those feelings and then finding another person to catch feelings for. So I cannot give you a lot of advice, although I do have to say my Cancer Moon does get attached to people very quickly. But the thing is that I think for me, it's just very easy to just move on despite having a Cancer Moon.
I think it's a Pisces thing to like your own friends. Because I have a Pisces Venus.
Shit! Oh
Maybe
my
it's a
god!
thing.
Yeah,
I think it's a
Shahir
thing.
did say that like you are homosexual.
Yeah, and he specifically mentioned that because I have a Pisces Venus. Or the 11th house thing, I don't fucking know. Or the 9th house thing.
One of those.
One of those, actually related to this Jupiter
Yeah,
energy.
maybe it's a Pisces thing. I don't fucking know.
But, oh my god, I'm so sorry, lah. Maybe you just need to end up finding a friend who likes you back.
No, actually, sometimes, right, when it comes to these kind of things, I feel like, okay lah, there are like two sides. Obviously, always two very different opinions that people have. Right. Our side, we're always like, don't be homosexual. But a lot of people say be homosexual because some of them actually meet their husbands or wives or lifelong partners by being homosexual. So, I mean, technically it's not wrong. I feel like...
I think if you can't change it, you should just find someone who likes you back, who's a friend.
Or don't do that. I feel like, no, don't intentionally go out of your way to do that. You know what I mean? I feel like if it happens, then it just happens. Just keep that shit to yourself.
Yeah, I think the conclusion here is to keep that shit to yourself.
Yeah, you keep that shit to yourself if you don't intend on achieving anything. Like let's say for example, when somebody like your friend and then your friend like that person back, you're not gonna achieve anything by telling them. Even if it's getting it off your chest, do not get it off your chest. Because to me, right, if it doesn't achieve like probably a relationship, if all it achieves is getting shit off your chest, that is gonna make put the other person in an uncomfortable spot.
Yeah.
So I just feel like process it by yourself and shit like that, and just don't say it. Don't say anything about it.
I really feel like these kind of things, right? I think you should always get shit off your chest, but I think when it comes to confession, especially when you know it's not gonna lead to anything, is something you should not get shit out of your chest.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna change a lot of things, and at the same time, it's also like, I don't know, it's gonna get more complicated from there. It really will. And like now your whole dynamics have changed. And depending on how close this friend is to you, a lot is at stake.
Yeah.
I did wonder if you're a water sign because you were like, I got so bitter like when she liked somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, one more, y'all. Hi. Before I start, I just wanted to say I love your podcast. Smiley face. I would love your opinion. I always feel like I'm accidentally muting this. I would love your opinion on the situation I experienced, and it would help a lot if I had a different perspective. This happened with my current girlfriend when we were at the 5-month dating mark. We've now been dating for a year and it's going well. She's my first girlfriend and my second crush. My first crush was my best friend that I met in high school. The theme of today is homosexual. I had really, really deep feelings for about 4 years, and that friend knew as well. When she found out, our friendship got closer. Lol, what the fuck? I think she liked the feeling of being liked. That is disgusting, honestly.
That's so fucked up.
So we talked a lot about it. Anyways, my girlfriend knows that this friend of mine is still my best friend. I told my girlfriend that we only really hang out once a year, but we casually text because we're close friends. One day, I was showing my girlfriend something on my phone and we came across that friend's messages. My girlfriend was surprised that we text almost every day. She also knows that I have no feelings for that friend whatsoever, and I moved on a couple years ago. The next day, my girlfriend told me that she can't continue the relationship unless I stop being friends with my best friend because she wasn't completely comfortable with it. Long story short, I told that friend and we ended our friendship. Oh shit. I know this situation isn't black or white, but do you think this was the right thing to do? My other close friend disagreed with me, but my other close friend told me I did the right thing because the friendship is complicated, and to have a healthy relationship, I should cut those ties. Honestly, I don't know whether it's a right or wrong thing. I think it's right and wrong, depending on what your priorities are.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think it doesn't matter whether you cut her off or not. Do you actually still have feelings for her? I mean, I know you told us like you didn't, but obviously your girlfriend asked for it for a reason lah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter, like, it's, you know, like, okay, for example, you hear all those like cishet stuff, right? Like they're like, oh yeah, I cut this girl off because my girlfriend told me like she's uncomfortable with everything. But sometimes like it's not completely resolved until you have personally resolved it yourself.
Yeah.
So I think this one is where we're in the dark about.
Yeah, I feel like I can also see where your girlfriend is coming from.
Yeah.
I can really I think it's valid for her to not feel comfortable with it, but at the same time, it also really depends on like what you prioritize lah. Also, like if this best friend is a non-negotiable, then I guess then you prioritize the friendship. But if not, then you prioritize the relationship. But I feel like the fact that you cut off that best friend probably proves that you don't have feelings for that best friend anymore.
Yeah.
You know, in a sense. It's just your priorities lah, no right or wrong one lah. It's just that everything you do also got there's pros and cons to it, so it's just pick your battles.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think for me, like, if I were to enter a relationship with someone and their close friend is someone they've been involved romantically, I wouldn't be comfortable. But also at the same time, like, I don't know, when it comes to, especially when it's friendship, and if I am not very entirely sure about where they stand with each other, I also wouldn't get into a relationship with that person.
Correct.
So it's kind of hard to say like who is wrong or who's right here.
Correct.
And I just feel like, I don't know, I also just feel like because we are not the type of people to stay close friends with an ex or somebody we've had like deep and strong romantic feelings. But I think if you had like a individual romantic feelings or like very light crush, it's not a big deal. But if you've had like deep feelings like what you've described, then I think that's a bit much lah. And because like if people have questions about boundaries, it's something to be expected from a partner. Because it's a lot. How do you ignore? I don't even remember the last time I had a crush on someone for 4 years. That's some shit, man. Like, that's a lot. I would have my doubts about a person if they told me this and they're like, oh, by the way, she's my best friend now.
Yeah. I will be like, no, are you keeping that person around just because you still have feelings for them, but you know it can't be more? Yeah, I would have my doubts too, so I can see where your girlfriend is coming from. I mean, we're replying to this about a year later, so I don't know, maybe you guys are still together.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's the end of the episode.
That's the end of the episode, y'all, because we gotta go, and like the long ass episodes are actually very time consuming to edit, and we're running out of time. Just in general, we have less time. The older we grow, we have less time.
Yeah, I think we can't do like those super long ones anymore.
Yeah, we ain't doing like some fucking guest episodes are fucking 3 hours long.
So you're in luck.
Fucking
We're not gonna yap that much.
Yeah, okay, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Buy us coffee.
Yes, buy us coffee.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.